Trader here, coattailtrader.com. Wanted to make this video on how to handle losses. As I've said many times, I'm not the greatest trader in the world, nor do I claim to be. And I had losses today, so I'm down for the day. But I think that's a lot of times what makes traders fail. They don't know how to handle losses. So I'm going to walk you through what happened to me today and what I ended up doing. 90% of trading is all about handling emotions. If you can't control your emotions, this is not business for you to try and to get into. You have to take it with a don't care attitude, both and when you lose. So when you lose, you have to be like, okay. When you win, you have to be like, okay. Same kind of attitude. You can't get frustrated. You can't get excited when you win. You can't get frustrated when you lose. You have to handle them the same way. That's the only way, at least for me, that emotions will stay in check. So I'm going to walk you through what happened to me today. Today is June 21st, Friday, 2013. Yesterday we had one of the biggest drops in the market since 2011. The market is really handling this Fed news I believe they're still overreacting. But we know what the market gives us. So everything was set up. Market opened right about here. And as we can see, we had some activity. You could see it's well outside of our. I was waiting for a bounce trade, which we got right here, and I put an order in here, and I immediately got stopped out 2 candles later. So that was my first loss. This one I don't believe actually even qualified as a trade. No, it was too big, so I wasn't able to get right back in. And so I had a first loss. Okay, whatever, no big deal. Kind of shake it off, and you're waiting for the next one. You just wait for the next opportunity. A couple minutes later, we get another opportunity here. We get our signal. Now we're waiting for confirmation. We don't get it. It actually closes under my level. So now now the signal is invalidated. Now I'm actually looking for a short to the downside. On the very next candle, breaks through my level and closes, invalidating this candle. However, unfortunately, this candle was too big for me to take because of the price movement and the withdrawal effect, so I didn't take that. Luckily, if I had taken it, I may have actually made some money on this one. But again, I never break my own rules, and that's what happens a lot of times with traders. When their system or their method or whatever they're doing doesn't work out, they try and tweak it a little bit for one candle, because of one time it would have worked, but the 99 other times that it doesn't work, nobody cares about that. So that's a problem. So we didn't take this signal. We waited. We saw a price was meandering around this level, not surprisingly, as it often does. On the very next candle after here, we get a close below my level, which invalidates any bounce trades. Now we're actually looking for a move downwards. And let me tell you, this one right here, I should have taken this, and here's what happened. Funniest thing, and it seems like when things like this happen, it almost seems like the market is out to get you. When, of course, it isn't. It doesn't care. The market has no idea about you, could give 2 craps, but it just feels like it is. So what happened here, so I was watching this. I'm like, okay, cool. Getting a signal here, waiting. I get this candle here. Now this one closes, so now I'm waiting for confirmation. On this candle right here, about 30 seconds left before the candle closed, all of a sudden, I start seeing my computer and the screen over here it's like frozen. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? All of a sudden my control center pops up, and now I'm having internet connection issues. It's saying connection lost, then it's connected, then connection lost. And I'm like, of course this would happen. It's going to generate a valid signal, and so my connection goes down. Right at this candle, like basically right at the close of this candle. I was getting ready. I had my mouse over here on the sell button ready because I saw this was going to happen. And now all of a sudden, everything starts freezing before I didn't put any orders in yet. And then my connection goes down. So I disconnect it manually, reconnect it manually. By the time I do that, price is already down here. I missed it. It was too late to get in. So I was pretty upset, not at the market, but I was like, wow, this whole time I'm waiting here, nothing. I haven't had any internet issues in weeks, and then of course, right as I'm getting ready to make back some of the losses, this would have been perfect. I would have, been back. I don't know if I would have been back in the green. Let's take a look here. Maybe. Well, I would have been up, and I wouldn't have had to cancel the rest of my trading day. But anyway, so I missed this trade. So I'm like, I'm not freaking out. I'm mad at the computer, not at the market and losses and all that. I'm like, man, of course, karma. Right when you're getting ready to get into a trade, all of a sudden your internet goes down. So then I'm like, okay, but again, we know based on experience and what we watch on these levels, we know that this is not. It's a missed trade right here, but we know we're going to get another opportunity again soon. The probability just says, eventually something's going to happen. So we look for the bounce trade, which happened again right here. We get one, but then this closes. Too big. Can't take it. The candle was too big for me, so I couldn't take it. Which is fine. Again, I don't get mad when when the trades are there, but I can't take them because that's what my system allows me to do. And yes, people, they're watching this video. They're like, oh, well, if you would have taken this one and then that, and then if you would have just taken here, then you'd be back to break even. Sure, of course, yeah. I'm the greatest hindsight trader in the world, but none of this happened yet. So you don't know. So that's why you have rules that you're supposed to create. Anybody can go in and say, oh, I would have bought here, and I should have bought here, and I bought here. So we wait again, and now as price goes down to here, now it's about at the midpoint between my two levels that I created this morning. So now it can go either way. I'm either waiting for a bounce off of this, a bounce off of here, or a break above here, or a break above here. Don't have to wait too much longer. A couple minutes later, I get a break right here. This meets my exact criteria. I put in my long position. It's not close enough to this. I should at least be able to get. I was hoping to get at least a point to get up to break even and all that. But immediately, as soon as I enter, boom, it shoots right back down and takes me out. At this point, I've had 2 losses in a row. I'm done for the day. That's my proper management skills. Now, the bad trader would say, well, technically, I had a loss here, which you can't dispute that. There's no disputing it. But you would have had a win here. So technically, this isn't 2 losses in a row, and you can keep trading. That's a dangerous game to play. When you set your limits for yourself, you need to stop. The market will give you another opportunity. I can go through hundreds of charts where this works 99% of the time, and it just didn't work today. That's okay. It doesn't work all the time. Now, yes, of course, had I waited, I would have gotten a bounce trade here and right here. Here's your signal. Here's your confirmation. Would have been right back in the game. Would have been able to take it, and I would have gotten at least 1 point back. And then right here, there's another one. Would have gotten another one. Sure, of course. Yes, we can go through many charts in hindsight and do that. The point is, you can't get upset. Monday is another trading day. Losses happen, just like I said. So I wanted to show you that, yes, even I have losses. I had 2. I missed one here. That was not my fault. That was internet connection. I still don't know what happened. And, of course, for the whole rest of the day so far, perfect internet connection. Nothing has gone wrong. So it's just funny. To me, it's funny. You have to learn how to laugh off the losses. So, yeah, but again, when that happens, when, you're done trading for the day, you just go into sim mode and you just keep practicing. Again, because what sim mode allows me to do, I don't use it for any other purpose than confidence building in the method that I trade. I don't look at I don't pretend and put like 6 contracts on here and just start throwing buy and sell orders. I traded the exact same way that I trade with my live account. Same stop losses, same targets, everything. Because when you do that, that reinforces your original trading method. A failure trader, a bad trader would have a day like this, like I just had, and almost throw away his whole system and say, oh my God, I need to reevaluate. I need to go back through. Why didn't this work? What happened? What could I have done better? Maybe I need to tweak this a little bit. Maybe I need to do this with it. I don't do that. That's how people get in trouble. I know my method works, and I know it works very well. It doesn't work all the time. That's okay. I accept that. Over time, I know that it works more often than it doesn't, and that's the key. So I'll go into sim mode. You take this trade here. Another signal, winner. Another signal right here. I believe that was a good one. Another signal, winner. Bounce trade, no good here. Nothing. Signal here, right here. Now we're getting close. So this would have been a break even probably as price went up a couple of ticks, and we would have gotten to break even, so we won't count that one. Then we get this one right here, which was a winner. Another, I don't think this one might have been a little too big. Yep, so that one didn't count. We're waiting. We see our level break. No good here because too close. Looking for the bounce trade off the levels. One. Boom, there it is. So you see, you can just keep going. Another one here. Boom, good to go. Yeah. So you're looking at this, oh man, if you would have taken all those trades, you would have won. Yeah, I would be ahead too. I wouldn't be down. But these could have also been losses. And you just don't know. So you have to set limits for yourself on how much you're willing to lose per day. You could, if all these would turn into losses, you could blow your whole account in one day. And that's not what you want to do. So that's how I handle losses. That's things that I've learned over the years. You just have to know when to walk away. The power of quitting. When you have a bad day, you just stop. You don't take it personally because the market isn't out to get you. It doesn't care. It's only doing what it does every other day since it's existed. So you just have to learn, and you have to accept that. Here's another one right here. This one, another good signal. So you just have to learn that the method works, just not all the time. And yes, of course, I'd be happy. Now I'd be in the green, and I did. Now I have daily loss limits that I limit myself to. And when I had those two losses, I was about 1 point. I still basically have, like right now, if I wanted to, my monetary daily loss limit hasn't been hit yet. But my trade loss limit has. I only allow more than 2 in a row. Or 2 in a row, and that's it. If I have more 2 in a row, I'm done. I still have another point on my where I'm able to trade because I haven't hit my monetary loss limit. But let's pretend, and that's the problem. If I would have gotten in a trade, like let's say I got into this one right here, because my monetary loss limit is smaller than my stop loss, now I'm changing my system. Now I'm compromising myself. The reason I have a monetary, it's whichever one gets hit first. So if I would have taken this one, yes, it would have worked out. I would have been going for a point on this one, and I would have gotten it. However, and then that's kind of why I say I have both. So let's say I lost here, so that's you're down 2 points, and then I would have won here. I would have been going for 2 on this one right here. I wouldn't have gotten 2, but I would have gotten at least 1. So now you subtract 1 from the 2 that I lost. Now I'm only down 1 point. And then this one would have taken me, so that would have been that I was down $100 at this point. But now what I would have done here, I'm sorry. So if I was down 2 points, I was only down $50. At this point, I would have won this. So I would have had this one, then I would have been down another 2 points. So that's a total of 3. My limit is 4 points. So I would still have one more trade left in me. And I would have taken this one, and I would have made up, and things. I would actually, had this trade worked out for me, if the internet wouldn't have gone down, I'd actually be in the green, because this one would have taken me back to 1 point loss. This one would have taken me down to 3. This one would have taken me back to 2. Then this one would have taken me back to 1. And then this one right here would have taken me to break even. This one would have probably taken me at a tick, 1 tick profit or 1 tick or break even. Let's see. This one would have taken me to a point win, and then this one would have taken me again. So if you see sometimes, and that's when you start questioning yourself. You're like, well, should I continue because this one technically would have worked out? Now but the problem here is that this one, after I had this loss, I was only 1 point away. My stop is 2 points. So now I'm changing my system. Now if I would have taken this trade right here, I would have only allowed myself a 1 point window. That does not fit into my criteria. So I don't take it. I walk away. Yes, as of right now, I'd be in the green and all that stuff. But you don't know that. What if this would have popped back up another point after this? Because prices can whip back up. Now you would have been at your loss, and then you would have seen, because a lot of times what will happen, it closes and then it pops back up maybe a point or so, and then it goes back down in the direction you thought it was going to do before. When that happens, that's what makes you frustrating. This doesn't happen all the time. I mean, like I said, I could go back through hundreds of charts and show you how this works more often than it doesn't. You just have to know when to walk away. That's all. That's the power. That's handling emotions in trading. So I just wanted to show you how I handle losses. But again, there's many traders that say, well, yeah, you just got to keep going and you got to take every signal. And if I had an enormous bankroll, if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars, well, then yeah, I would continue to do this. But what I'm trying to show people is how does the average trader does not have $500,000 to trade with. So I'm finding that I am starting with a very small account and trying to slowly build it up over time, and to show that it is possible, and how to walk away and not blow your entire account, because that's how people blow their accounts. They keep going. In this case, it would have worked out, but a lot of times, many more times, it wouldn't work out. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions on how I actually do my strategy and stuff, let me know. Visit my website, Coattail Trader, Facebook, Coattail Trader, and Twitter at Coattail Trader. Leave any comments here and I'll answer them. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll start fresh on Monday.